Hey, shalom, shalom. Want to say all praises be to Abanawa, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakakadash. Double honors to the apostles, who was the quantum of great millstone who do rule well. Shalom to the sincere brethren. I came out there across the four winds, the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth, the good news of Yahweh Shai, proclaiming salvation to the elect of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are proclaiming the downfall of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man and his wicked empire. Okay, so this is going to be a video this is mostly to the point of World War III update. Topic being basically never keep it at home, referring to Esau, Edom, and his hegemony here in Babylon the Great, the United States. As we see what's going on with Iran, what's going on with Cuba now. They just labeled Raul Castro, the former leader of Cuba. They indicted him on murder charges, basically setting the stage to run into Cuba, man. But everybody's saying Cuba is not Venezuela, man, because Cuba, they have a long-standing revolutionary government going back to the 50s, late 50s, early 60s, man. So 60 plus years, man. So those people down there, the military paradigm is different from Venezuela. Just like they thought Iran was going to be a walk in the park, now they stuck. The Strait of Hormuz is all blockaded up. The price of gas is up. You know what I mean? Trump is in a political turmoil, so on and so forth. But that's what Esau gets. He's all over the world, man. Like a wild coyote, man. Going through all the earth, man. But that's the same way how the Roman Empire fell. It's the same way how the modern Roman Empire is going to fall, man. Because that's why the name of this, the name of the final war is World War, man. Because there's going to be different stages, different theaters of World War III. And that's done. The Middle East being the main theater for the ground battle, but you're going to have different theaters, man. You're going to have the Asian theater, the European theater, even more than likely the South American, Central American, Caribbean theater, so on and so forth. Because it's going to be the global powers going up against each other across the globe, man, across these different fronts. But this is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 5. Yet also because he transgressed by wine, that wine being his different ideologies and philosophies that he's pushing across the earth. And also it's an ideology and philosophy that, basically Babylon has to exert their authority across the planet, man. You understand? Subduing these different nations, man. And forcing their ideologies, their way of life, their democracy, their LGBT, so on and so forth on these different nations, man. But a lot of these nations, they rejected it, man. Especially the global powers. They reject American hegemony. Global powers like China and Russia, and even we see with Iran now, they are rejected American hegemony, man. They might accept other of the philosophies, but in terms of America dominating them, they're not with it, man. Who enlargeth his desires hell and is as death and cannot be satisfied. And that's what this man is bringing throughout the planet. This is what Esau, Edom here in America is bringing throughout the planet, man. Bombing Iran. You know what I mean? Running in Venezuela. They said all type of innocent people got killed during that invasion of Venezuela when they took Maduro. So you bringing death. And this goes back to all the wars, man, Esau been in. The American Edomite been in. The Vietnam War, the Iraq War, Korean War, so on and so forth. Woe to him that increases that which is not his. How long? And to him that laden himself with thick clay. And increases that which is not his, man. Going to these different countries trying to take their natural resources, man. Trump was like, yeah, we got to take the oil out of Iran, man. We got to get Iran and take the oil. They did that with Iraq, man. They did that with Afghanistan, the whole opium trade, so on and so forth. Vietnam, the same thing, the opium trade, the opium triangle. So behind all these wars, man, is to usurp the resources of these different nations and places. Venezuela, oil. So now they're doing all type of deals with America, oil these, because Venezuela has the largest oil reserves, man, in the world. So now they went in there, and now they got that Delcy Rodriguez, where she's a total disappointment. She totally sold out the Maduro, and now they're doing all type of deals with the American government, man. You understand? So he taking that which is not his, man. So the oil in Venezuela is not yours. The oil in Iran is not yours. Iraq, the opium in Afghanistan, so on and so forth, man. The different natural resources of these different places around the world Esau, Edom here in America seeks to usurp these places, and they do that by violence, by war. And it says he laid himself with thick clay going to the debt system. Because Esau, Edom, especially here in America, this nation is about 39 trillion, approaching 40 trillion in debt. And this whole system is based on debt. Mortgage, all of this stuff, man. Credit cards, student loans. is only centered around debt, man. And what is debt? Debt is money that you really don't have, man. Fictional money. So that's a scam in and of itself, man. You understand? But that's how Esau's system is based off of debt. That's why this man gotta go, man. And in Lord's willing, we don't have that much longer, man. Because everything is out of whack, man. Everything is bugged out. The woman bugged out. The children bugged out. The food is bugged out. Everything is bugged out. So the Lord has to reset all of this, man. And the reset is going to come through this World War III. Esau being judged for his transgressions across the planet. Specifically the American Edomite. Shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taught him proverb against him? And that's why these nations know Esau, call Esau, Edom here in America, the great Satan, man. The enemy, man. You know what I mean? Everybody know how the American Edomites get down, man. And all these different nations, they about tired of it, man. And that's only waxing worse and worse for you Edomites here in America. Shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him, saying, woe to him that increases that which is not his, stealing all the resources. Damn, I read the same verse twice. Damn, I think I skipped around a little bit. Let me go back to verse 5. And is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather it all unto him all nations, and heap it unto him all people, which all goes into what? America being the melting pot. The city of confusion, because you have all these different ideologies and philosophies and peoples here in America. And then we jump back to verse 6. Verse 6, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him? Woe to him that increases that which is not his, and to him that laded himself with thick clay. Like I said, going into the debt system, Esau increases that which is not his, stealing the resources of these different nations, waging war on these different nations to get their resources. Because thou hast spoiled, so like verse 7, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee? Can't rise up suddenly that shall bite thee. That's why all these nations going into that WW3 and 9 spirit, man. China, India, Pakistan, North Korea, Russia, all weak nations a couple decades ago. Now they rising up, man. Because they all to America. They're like, nah, we need to build up our military. We need to get nuclear weapons. That's the only way to deter this bitch, man. You know what I mean? So they rising up, man. And they rising up really for the Lord to orchestrate this World War III. Because the Lord need competent combatants against this whole, man. And those competent combatants is going to be those nuclear armed nations, man. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee? And how are they going to bite thee? Military warfare, man. And awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them. So they're going to spoil the American military. They're going to do the American military in, because they're gonna team up, man, against America and NATO and the EU. But even NATO and the EU, they're going to turn against America, man. Going into the book of Revelations, the horns shall hate the whole, man. But these different nations, they're going to come together and rise up against America. And America is going to be spoiled for them, man. These different military bases that America have all throughout the world, they're going to get ransacked. These different outposts, so on and so forth. These nations are going to spoil them in this end time war, man. In this World War III war. Because that was spoiled many nations. That might be hard to believe for you simple-minded people out there. But anybody that really watching, they can see, yeah, American military stretched thin, man. Hey, they just said over there in those different military bases in the Middle East, Iran did massive damage to them, man. A lot of them are basically uninhabitable, man. Those different American bases in the Middle East, man. Iran shot all type of drones and shit and jacked them up, missiles and drones at those bases, man. Where they're no longer habitable. And that's going to happen all throughout the planet. These different nations, they're going to rise up against American outposts all across the planet, man. Like I said, they shall be a spoil unto thee. You shall be a spoil unto them. And thou shalt be for booties unto them. Sorry, booties unto them, which booty is a spoil. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, which Scripture what? You reap what you sow. So America sowed all type of wickedness, plundering, rape, robbery, and murder. Just the foundation of America. Woe to the bloody city. Amos 9 and 8. Woe to the bloody city. America was established upon blood, upon the genocide of the Native Americans, upon the enslavement of the Negroes, man. So the same way how your foundation set is the same way how you're gonna fall, man. If you set America set on a wicked foundation, you reap what you sow. So only wickedness could be only a great downfall, a great judgment for your wickedness, for your evil can happen, man. That's the balance of life. That's the wheel of justice that the Lord set up, man. Like these people like in the world like to call it karma, but nice, you reap what you sow. Whatever your foundation is, man. Hey, if your foundation is wickedness, you gotta reap that, man. You gotta reap that. There's a judgment for that. Woe to him that Slakia, because of men's blood and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. So you see, I just spoke about the violence. This place was set up on violence. This place projects violence, and it's unrighteous violence. It's not a righteous violence that Edom has done. It's unrighteous violence. So by violence, he's a violent man. So by violence, he's going to be taken out, man. The Lord is going to meet fire with fire. But there's going to be a consuming fire upon Edom here in Babylon, man. That nuclear fire, along with Yahushua returning, are adding more fire upon that, man. Yahushua and the angels returning. Woe to him that covet an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. God. Woe to him that... So basically Edom trying to duck this judgment, man. He's trying to avert this judgment. That's why Edom, specifically the American Edom, they're going into space, setting up space program, ultimately to fight Yahushua. You understand? They're trying to set themselves up to combat the prophecies of their downfall. But nah, that's it, man. You're done for, man. You're not going to be delivered, man. You're not going to be delivered from the bad times to come upon you, from the evils that's to come upon you. Like I said, that he may be delivered, but nah, you're not going to be delivered. You're not going to be delivered. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. So ultimately, Edom has to be brought to justice for the evil that he has done hundreds of years ago, and evil that he continues to do to this day. And when I say Edom, specifically in this scenario, it's really talking about the American Edomite, man. The American conglomerate, man. Because we know the Russians are Edomites, but the Lord is going to use them to come up against the American Edomites, man. We know the Europeans are Edomites, but the Lord is going to use them in this last day first to come up against the Russians, but then to turn and come up against their ally, America, man, the whole. You understand? So the Lord is going to use Edomites versus Edomites, Egyptians versus Egyptians, but the main Edomite of great judgment, the main habitation of judgment of the Edomites is going to be here in America, man. Because America is that spearhead of all the wickedness polluting the earth, man. Going out raping and robbing throughout the earth, man. And like I said, this case with Iran and Cuba is the latest ordeal of American hegemony, American violence being perpetuated upon the earth, man. Of which is going to be rectified in these last days and times through World War III, and America being overthrown, man. Ultimately overthrown by Yahushua, man. And those nuclear missiles, which is Yahweh Hashem Yahushua's army, man. Because these other nations that come up against Babylon, they're not going to be successful, because they're going to be subdued too, man. But the Lord just killing two birds with one stone, man. The nations are going to be subdued, and America is going to be destroyed, man. By those nations, and also by Yahushua's second return, man. Hey, so with that, you know what I mean, just continue watching prophecies. We seen this World War III is panning out, man. Nonetheless, it's panning out. All these movements, these different happenings with Iran, Cuba, these are fitting into prophecy perfectly, demonstrating who is Babylon the Great, man. Demonstrating who's at home, man. Demonstrating who needs to fall, man. Who is due for a great fall, which is America, man. Nonetheless. Hey, but with that, hope you brothers and sisters were edified. I'm going to say all praises be to Abanawa, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Harakakadash. Double honor to the apostles, was the Quanium of great millstone who do rule well, and shalom to the elect.